Yo, I know y'all looking at me watching this video. Y'all think this last video, it was gonna be the last video. But then I saw another video I wanted to watch. And this is gonna be the second to last video. Let's get right into it.
WWE wrestlers that Vince McMahon actually booked better than Triple H. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Number 10, Austin Theory. It's no secret that Vince McMahon had high hopes for Austin Theory. Based on Theory's presentation during McMahon's final years in charge of WWE, it wouldn't be far-fetched to come to the conclusion that McMahon saw Theory as the next John Cena. Theory would win the Money in the Bank briefcase and he would have an extended run as US champion, and when Triple H took over WWE Creative, everything changed. Theory was still presented in a regular role on TV, however the idea of Theory being the next face of WWE wasn't the vision shared by Triple H. Although the game did commit to booking Theory to defeat John Cena at WrestleMania 39, it was evident that Triple H still had reservations regarding Theory. After all, Triple H booked Theory to lose his Money in the Bank cash-in, a cash-in that wasn't even for the world title. Over the past year, Theory has been in a tag team partnership with Grayson Waller, and whilst this partnership has been well received, and the two have had great chemistry, Theory has never been further away from the main event picture in WWE. It's been rumoured that he could be embarking on a babyface turn in the immediate future, and this is something that fans have been crying out for. Will this change his career trajectory under the game? Well, time will tell. Number 9, Omos. As things stand, Omos has virtually disappeared from WWE programming. Reports indicate that WWE have given up on Omos, yet it's worth noting that these reports haven't been verified. Under the management of Vince McMahon, Omos was presented as a modern-day Marvel. Omos was presented as a big deal, and when McMahon exited WWE, this strong presentation continued. Omos will be booked in key pay-per-view matches against the likes of Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins, and the Nigerian Giant exceeded all expectations in these featured matches. Despite these excellent performances, Triple H out of nowhere began to use Omos less and less. The game only appears to bring Omos into creative plans when WWE have a battle royal to book and they need bodies in the ring. And this is a shame, as Omos still has a ton to offer WWE, and fans have taken a liking to him thanks to his wholesome YouTube channel. Due to MVP reportedly leaving WWE, this puts Omos in a difficult position, and with his manager gone, where will this leave him? Hopefully the game will go back to the drawing board and Omos eventually resurfaces on WWE television. Number 8, Becky Lynch. When Becky Lynch emerged as one of the most popular stars in WWE in 2018, Vince McMahon didn't hold back in going all in on Lynch. She was presented as one of the faces of the company, and this presentation and booking continued right until McMahon took a step back from the company. Lynch was one of McMahon's favourite wrestlers, and although Lynch had her strong moments under Triple H, the booking has been lifeless and stale, and fans, particularly those on the X platform, have been calling it out on a regular basis. It's almost as if Triple H fails to understand what made Lynch initially connect with the audience, as her feuds with the likes of Trish Stratus and Liv Morgan lacked any significance, and although the payoff of the matches were great, the execution of the build was confusing and overly complicated. Some fans have theorized that Lynch was never one of Triple H's chosen stars during a run in NXT, and this sentiment has continued on the main roster. With Lynch's WWE contractual status up in the air, it'll be interesting to see what's next for one of WWE's most talented stars. Number 7, Ricochet. Now on paper, it would only seem logical that Ricochet would thrive under Triple H. When Triple H was booking him in NXT, he was presented as a megastar, and he had an insane amount of aura. Unfortunately, the game's booking of the US and Intercontinental Champion on the main roster was so uninspiring that it was no doubt a factor in Ricochet leaving the company.
True love really has no pride. Where's the men's rings?
Oh no. He's not probably
Triple H was clearly a fan of him, as he was often used in key roles, yet he had a ceiling in the company, and Triple H was never going to push him into the main event picture. Under Vince McMahon, Ricochet was established as one of the most reliable stars on the roster, and McMahon wasn't scared of putting a title on him, as he knew he could deliver in the role. Of course, Ricochet's booking under McMahon wasn't exactly perfect, but it's a common consensus that he felt like a bigger deal when he was wrestling Samoa Joe and AJ Styles on pay-per-view, as opposed to being destroyed on Raw by up-and-coming stars like Braun Breaker. Number 6, Bobby Lashley. And it took some time for Vince McMahon to truly grasp how to present Bobby Lashley. However, when McMahon realized that abysmal comedy was in the way and he allowed Lashley to be an extension of himself on TV, Lashley was set for greatness. His first WWE title run was incredibly well received, and Lashley did an outstanding job in a difficult role. Lashley was bringing it in every department, and he had truly evolved into his final form as a performer. Whilst the presentation and booking of the Hurt Business was a mixed bag under McMahon, the stable was still incredibly important to a lot of fans, and the group had a ton of epic moments, and it's no surprise that fans are clamoring for a reunion outside of the WWE bubble. Sadly, when Triple H took over creative, Lashley's booking would instantly change, and this never seemed to recover. Bobby Lashley's stable with the Street Profits had major big-time potential, yet Triple H butchered the initial presentation. Triple H's bold idea was to present the trio as heels, and the fans had zero interest in booing them, especially a legend such as Lashley. Triple H would then awkwardly transition them into a babyface act, which was then counterproductive, as the narrative made no sense to the audience. It's hardly a surprise that the legend himself has decided to leave the company, who was barely featured in a meaningful role on TV, which was truly a baffling one. Lashley, despite being one of the oldest stars on the roster, could still hang with names 20 years younger than him. Lashley's next ventures is sure to be an exciting one, and whatever wrestling promotion the Almighty ends up in is going to be lucky to have one of the most consistent and universally liked stars of the modern era on their roster. Number 5. AJ Styles. It only took a few months in WWE for Styles to convince McMahon that he was going to be a high-profile star for the company. AJ would have several title runs, including a WWE title run that commenced just 9 months into his official debut. McMahon always wanted AJ to be presented well, and McMahon was the guy who booked AJ with The Undertaker for the Dead Man's final match, which was a huge nod of approval. AJ has enjoyed moderate success under Triple H, with his feud with Cody Rhodes being a highlight, yet outside of that, Triple H has struggled with how to book AJ. Whilst he seems happy with the WWE creative, the same can't be said for the fans who are continuously urging the game to present AJ like the legend he truly is. Number 4. Bianca Belair. From the moment Bianca Belair arrived on the main roster, Vince McMahon decided that she was going to be one of the top stars in the entire company. This was 100% the correct call, as Belair had every tool imaginable to deliver this role, and based on her subsequent performances and drawing power, McMahon was spot on with this assessment. Belair would win the Royal Rumble, main event WrestleMania, and was basically a key part of WWE's marketing. The fans loved her in the role, and her connection with the younger demographic was hard to ignore, and WWE had everything they could ever want out of a female star that could act as the face of the company. Triple H hasn't presented Belair awfully, yet she has virtually been relegated to a tag team act alongside Jade Cargill. Whilst the idea behind this is clearly to build up to an eventual feud between the two, Belair could be doing so much more, and even her established star and drawing power won't save the reputation of the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Under Vince McMahon, it seemed like a given that Belair was going to be on every Big 4 pay-per-view, yet under Triple H, she can't even make the cut to be on the 2024 SummerSlam card. This is vastly disappointing, and hopefully once the pairing between Belair and Cargill comes to an end, the game can get her booking back on track. Number 3. Ronda Rousey. It was clear from the moment Ronda Rousey returned to TV in 2022 that something was missing. The Rousey that was presented during a 2018-19 WWE run was nowhere to be found, and when Triple H took over creative, there was less of a desire to keep Rousey in a mainstream singles role. Rousey would eventually join forces with her real-life buddy Shayna Baszler, and this run in the tag division didn't exactly light the world on fire, and it had little benefit to the overall status of the women's tag division. Triple H would then deliver a Rousey vs Baszler feud for SummerSlam 2023, and the feud and match were both a total dud, and her subsequent exit didn't cause too much of an uproar. Number 2. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is one of Triple H's most trusted talents, and it's been this way since Owens arrived in NXT 10 years ago. When the game took over creative, WWE fans expected Owens to finally be given a second world title run, but this hasn't happened yet. Owens has had big moments under Triple H, including main eventing WrestleMania 39 and winning the tag titles, yet the way Triple H booked this reign wasn't exactly thrilling, and even though Owens and Sami Zayn were critical of the booking, especially the fact that Triple H booked them on TV and rarely on pay-per-view events, Owens is still a big deal under Triple H, but there's definitely an argument to be made that Vince McMahon featured Owens in much more varied roles, and after all, it was McMahon who committed to giving Owens a reign as world champion in WWE. And number 1, John Cena. It was no secret that John Cena and Vince McMahon have a close personal friendship. Cena was McMahon's chosen guy, and Cena successfully carried the company for over 10 years, which was an insane feat and highlighted just how incredible Cena was as a performer. Cena has had numerous runs under Triple H, and all of these received backlash. Cena's run in early 2023 culminated with him putting over Austin Theory at WrestleMania 39, and the story and execution didn't exactly excite the fans. Cena's extended run in 2023 looked promising, yet Cena kept making non-TV appearances, and it was never explained why Triple H wasn't booking a legitimate draw on WWE television. Cena would put over Solo Sikoa on pay-per-view in late 2023, and the match was heavily panned. It was arguably Cena's worst match in years. It was a frustrating creative call. Cena is now set to embark on his final WWE run in 2025, and Triple H has a ton of pressure to deliver a fan-pleasing send-off to one of the greatest of all time. Triple H needs to realize that Cena means a great deal to the entire generation of the WWE audience, and presenting him without an exciting creative vision simply isn't going to cut it. But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE wrestlers that Vince McMahon booked better than Triple H. Do you guys agree? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
The match was kind of good because Vince booked it. It could have been good though if Kurt Angle was in great shape. It wasn't really.